Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. So last time we got area number to jeweled, and this time I'm going to work on Palisade. 12 puzzles. It's better. So I can see those nice and clearly. And as usual I shall start with some that aren't ruby. That either goes up or across. That has to go both ways, up and across, which means that goes across. We have a line there, and that stops there. And in fact, it stops there as well. This one now has to go both ways. This has to go every which way. Which is kind of interesting. So that's going to have to extend out. How do I make these two the same? Somewhere I have to have something that goes all four directions, which could be that one. But in that case, this would have to go up 2, and it can't. This one could be this corner. But if so, that one would come off the area. Yeah, we can't go into here because this has all 3 sides blocked off. This one, the green one, could go into there. In which case, or it doesn't have to. That was forced. That was forced. That entire shape is forced. This forces expansion out this way, and I mean at this point they're equal, but this is not satisfied. And I can take that down, but I can't take this one down. If I take that out, then those shapes are equal, but that doesn't help. Because this is something different. So I don't know we go into there. I don't know we go into there. If we came round like that, I think these two shapes are the same. Oh, that has to be a square. This can't be a square. Leaving that one alone for the moment. That. Okay, if I go like that and like that, then I've broken something. Let's take those out for the moment. The shapes match, but that one needs to be a dead end. No, this has to come through. Those two are the same, going across there. but I'm not accounting for that one. No way to put. How the heck do I do these? Start again and look at these two shapes. They each have one wall, so the second wall has to either be like that or like that. If it's like that, then this goes up these two directions, and this one has to go there. The square is the only thing, but we can't put a square on that side fairly obviously. So that must go like that. Which means this one can't go down, has to go up. I think that's the only way of completing that. This must come out in the T-piece. This has to include a T-piece somewhere in it. And it can't extend that one. It can't extend down there. That has to go up. This also has to be a W. Which is a bit of a problem because it goes across the 3x3 square and there ain't no route. It takes this across the 3x3 square. Let's try this again. That goes that way and that way. And this, oh hang on, this has to go up, and this has to go up, because the walls are on the sides. So we have to have at least that. And we either extend out two sides like that, in which case we have to get another W in which goes across the diagonal of the 3x3 square. And it can't go like that. And it can't go like that. Ooh, it nearly went like that, but not quite. Or they both extend out that side, and we have a square which definitely doesn't work on here. Oh, hang on. Oh, we have a square doesn't work on here, but could work up here and then be extended with a couple of lines. So it could be something like that. So I think that's what I have to head for, because the W doesn't work. So that has to extend through there. Which means we're going to put a square in anyway, it has to go there. So that would be 1. And then to complete this, we have to put a second one and do that. Okay, I think that's the only way of doing that section. This one has to come out like that. That's a T-piece, but this needs to extend another square. So that has to extend another square. And that's it completed. I think I made more of a meal of that than I should have. Okay, there are a couple more. Hiding. Here. All regions are elbow, 3-piece, and T. That has to be the middle one of a 3. Can either go that way, in which case that square is broken, or it can go this way. And that's the only thing I think it can do. This has to be a T-piece, and there's only one way it can go. Don't leave isolated cells. That one has to be on a T-piece as well. Either of those is kind of possible. This one's on the base of a T though, and it only has one way it can go. I can lock those in. That means this has to be the middle of the 3. That has to be on an elbow. That one goes like that. And this one has to go like that. These so I can do T, 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 elbow, elbow, T, T, and elbow. Right, that was a lot easier than the previous level 4. And this one's only level 3. So 2x1, 2x2, and T. That's a free T. the corner of a 2x2. I think it's go that way, and then fill in with 2x1s. Nice. $51 of 60. So it's a 5. There's a 5. There's a 6. Hang on, I've missed another non-ruby one. 4. So no restrictions except the Palisade. This either goes that way or that way. If it went like that, then we get something like that. But this one has a problem. Restart. So if the bit across the middle goes horizontally, then that also has to go horizontally and be exactly a 3, and that exactly a 3. And each of these would have to do a turn. Right, this I think is going to be an issue. It has to go out in some direction. It goes out like that. Or not, and then we can do that. And that. And those actually work. And this has to go both ways. Which means that one has to go both ways and we're forced to have a square. And that becomes an elbow. Right. Five. Just Palisade. Hey, I can do that one. That has to go up and down. Means that has to come out. We have a wall there, so this has to come down. Can extend, but that's something different. That has to come up from the edge. I don't know if it goes left or right. That has to come out from the edge. That has to come out from the edge. This could go that way. That actually works. If it goes that way, then it also has to go that way. It can't go that way and up. Can't go that way and up because then we break this. So the wall is on one of these two sides. So it does go down and across. And then it either goes in there or up there, but it doesn't do both. So the wall here is on that side. If this goes up and down, then this also has to go up and down, and that one is broken. So those have to go horizontally, and that has to extend into that. This can't join on both in, so this is something separate. So that one ends on there. I don't know if it extends further up or not. That has to extend at least to here. If it extends another one, then it would have to come up here, which it can't do. I shall draw in those edges. So that's an edge. And this can stick out in a variety of ways. This could be part of this shape. You just have a lump on the end of the line. If this is part of the blue shape, I mean, this has no fill. It has to come out. No, actually, this could still be completed like that. That one, I can still extend like that. That has to curve round. Means this This isn't working. That doesn't work. Doing that breaks this. So this has to go up if the rest is correct. We could do something. Like that, except this one now doesn't work. So if instead I go in here, that breaks this. Yeah. If I do that, that forces this one to go like that, which is fine. This, okay, I need this corner. If I'm doing that, then I can only, no, if I'm doing that, then that's the corner. Which means this one has to come out of here, so that has to go across 3 and not come down here. Means this has to join on there, and we're broken. So if instead that goes up that way, this now has to go vertically, which doesn't work with this one. Yeah. Let's start this again. So if this goes vertically, and that goes off to the right, say, then this is going to have to extend into this one and beyond to there. And we have to put lines there and there, which forces this to be doing that. With a line there. So that's something different. This would work with vertical, and here this wouldn't. So these would have to be horizontal. And then we have something like that. It has to go like that. It has to come out like that. This one is vertical, whatever. This is now these two don't join, so this would have to join to here. That would have to extend up. This can now extend into here. And that finishes on that. And this extends up here. And that finishes on that. Ooh, that was fun. Just 7 to go. 3 there, 3 there. and one here. Also difficulty 5, even if it's not ruby. That has to go there. And that has to come out here. And this has to turn either left or right. Area of exactly 18. Oh, hang on. So we have 2 regions. Right. So this is the other region. Don't know which colour that one is. And the blue region is on both sides of that. This has to get out. That means this has to turn. This has to get out, so it has to keep on going. And that's the red region. This has to turn. So that's red. And the border has to only change colour twice. So that has to get out. And that continues down. Whatever this does, it has to change colour one side or the other. So blue can't go down because that would make that red. So blue goes up and red goes down. So I reckon that has to go all the way across there. This has to get out. Oh, blue has to be above, but I don't know which colour this is. This one could be red. This has to be a corner. So we have to do that. 16 threads, 17, 18. That is to go there. All regions must have an area of exactly 5. This now has to join on and form a peep and domino. This one has to use those. It can't go left because then it would also have to go up. So that's something different. Give me a few more colours. Right. That has to at least come out. Then it can go left or right. If it went left, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, So if it was a P, oh, it's not a P. If it was a P that way, then that would work. But I don't know that it is. I just know it has to come out. That goes in one direction or another. It can't join to this, I don't think. Because if it goes go up, that can't join this way, because then it would be forced this. This has to come out from the wall. That's the useful thing to work out. And it could come down. It doesn't have to. This slot up here is 5 cells that have to be on their own. These 4 I don't know exactly how they join, but I think they both have to come down in there. So that's it could be a P. This one could be a W. Okay, if that joins onto there and goes that way, then I have at most one of these can come here and 3 have to join to that, which doesn't work. So that does not do that. It could do that, because then we get a W. Sorry, a U. Why do I keep doing that? I like the green. Okay. Leaving the 6 for the moment. That was a 5. Ooh. Straight Palisade. That goes up there. Those are walls. That extends out that way. This one does not extend. That extends that way, and this one does not extend. This goes either up or down. This goes through all of those. These 2 come out. These 2. There. Okay. If this comes out, then we're forced to follow a zigzag. This cannot be a square going down, so if it comes up here, again, that's a zigzag. Let's just try it and see what happens. Okay. Fair enough. 3 over here. There's a 5, a 6, and oh, is that a 4? Oh, I'll do a 4. I'll try a 4. Okay, so we have 8 regions. This cannot do that because that's isolated. So we can be sure it does that. Cannot go left and right, but it can't go. It can go right as long as it doesn't go left. It goes that way quite definitely. This one also cannot go left and right. It can because this can just go down and collect that. Only this one that's constrained and has to go vertically, but I don't know which side. That's going to have to come out. Start by marking these all in. This cannot be vertical, because if it's vertical, then that cell can't be part of a rose window region. So this is horizontal. And this is not part of that region. Means if this goes down and across, can't get to this one or this one. So this actually has to go that way. And that has to come that way. But it still can't get to this. I'm thinking I'm going to have to do something like that. We don't know it goes to that. But if it did, that's going to work. No. think about this. That could join to that. This has to take either this cell or this cell. So does this. No, sorry, each of these can emit one of these two cells. So we did that and that. Then this has to join onto this one, and these two are messed up. And this messes up that. So the other way to do this is like that. If they join together like that, it's not going to work because we have two blues in it. If they join together horizontally, then these two can't connect. I think these two are the key. Okay, let me start. This, as before, can't go vertically because it isolates that section, or that cell specifically, so that definitely goes horizontally. This one goes this way. If they don't join, then it would force that to go like that. And this would have to come here, and this would have to come here. And then this cannot reach, rather these two need to get at two blues, and they can't. It goes like that. Again, this cannot get to a blue. And this one would have to come down here. Goes that way round. The only blue this one can get is up here. And this must come down. I think that's the only way to complete that section. Okay, yeah, that was the key. Okay, so I think I have 3 left. Yeah, 3 left, a 5 and 2 6s. And I think I will leave those until next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again soon.